Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Abhishek Kumar and today we are having a very spectacular personality with us, Mohit Uniyal. He is co-founder at Coding Minutes as well as his mentor for various courses. So without wasting further time, we'll take a small intro of Mohit Bhaiya and we'll know about his incredible journey. Over to you, Bhaiya.
Hello everyone. Hi Abhishek. So my name is Mohit. Currently, I'm instructor and co-founder at Coding Minutes. So Coding Minutes is a new initiative. It's an edtech startup. It's just 3-month old startup, and so we are providing the education. So regarding the coding, right, data science, machine learning. So, but like if I talk about myself, I've been teaching for around more than 2 years now, and I've been teaching machine learning, data science, Python, all these stuff. Yeah. Okay. So that's all about me.
So, Bhaiya, as this is going to be the podcast and a video podcast, so I'll just start from your school journey. So, how was your school journey and how you just decided to come inside this CSS stuff and this all coding stuff? So, what was that, motive or what was that planning? So, kindly just brief.
Okay, so first I learned HTML in class 7th. So we had this subject, IT subject or computer subject. I learned HTML CSS in 7th and 8th class. So I won one competition on HTML like web designing, and since then I got fascinated about computers. So in class 10th, like I made up my mind that I am going to use or I'm going to pick science background, and particularly computer science was one of my favorite subjects that time. So I thought to learn C language at that time in my class 10th, and I got to know about C language. Then there's C++. So in my class 11th, we used to have the C++ in our course curriculum, right? So I studied C++ for 2 years, so class 11th and class 12th. But at that time, I was not very aware about what is data structures, although we have studied something like linked list, tags, or queues are there. But I was not very impressed by like why do we actually use these data structures. And then when I came to college, then I got to know like there are a lot of important things why we use actually data structure in real world examples or real world problems. So that's how I actually started my coding journey. So it was, I would say it was class 11th or 10th. That's at that point I started write code or to write program, I would say. So coding I was doing since class 8, the HTML and CSS program coding, but the actual programming, the C and C++ language, I started from class 11th. So that's how I started this.
So, you just came to the hostel, like hostel life and all, like that college first days, first year and second year. So, how you just managed your co-curriculum, friend circle, this academics and all. So, what was your main motive? How you just designed your path? That was fully towards the coding stuff, or that was towards co-curricular stuff. So, what was your, this path structure?
So when I was in first year, or basically I would say first semester, I was not very aware about the technology. I know that there's like we have HTML CSS since I was doing it from the school time. So I was into that stuff only. I was into the web designing, and I started taking participation in a lot of competitions. So I didn't know a lot about machine learning at that time and why we need to focus on data structures or interview preparation or competitive programming. But I was fascinated with the web design because I was able to create some websites, write some CSS code, HTML code, and like I picked internship at that time only in the first year. So that was like unpaid internship, but I thought that okay, I will get to learn something new. So let's do this, and that's where I started learning how to learn actually, right? If I have to pick a new technology, because whenever in the first day when I went to that internship, they said that you have to learn a new technology, and then that is Bootstrap, and I wasn't aware what is Bootstrap, and that's how I started learning something new. Now if you give me any new technology at this current state, I would be able to pick up that technology very easily, or like I would not be very it would not be difficult to pick new technologies now. So I would say why I was able to pick first internship was because I've seen other students like not exactly my classmate, but there were seniors who actually guided me. So they were also doing some type of internships, some projects. So I actually contacted them, and I asked like I really need to do something in coding part. So I was not very social type of person. I was into like the completely coding part. So let's do code, and we want to be coder only. And like I got to know a lot of details about coding, like what programming language should I pick. So and after the first year, and then I've also explored other technologies, like for a little bit of Android development, but I didn't get a lot of interest over in that field. And then I switched to like machine learning, Python, data science.
Okay. So like you just told about how you just dipped inside this all coding stuff and all. So I just want to know like how you started teaching. What was that, what was that motive and what you thought like you started teaching from very early age, I think. So what was that motive?
So I didn't know that I would teach like as a full professional, but so teaching, I was very passionate about it, right? From, I would say, from second or third year of my college. So I used to teach my friends at that time, right? So if we are having an exam, or if we are trying to solve any challenge, or maybe we are writing some code, so I generally explain it to my friends. So I took my first session on Git and GitHub in my college. I was in the last year, final year, right? That was my first session, and I was very scared at that time. Like it was my first session. So around like 70 to 80 students attended that session. So I was very, very scared at that time. And after delivering that session, even some faculty members also attended, and like the principal was also aware about the session we are conducting. So after that session, actually some student told me that session was very nice, and they're able to understand some parts, why we use Git, what is GitHub. And they were mostly first year students, and they were able to create their GitHub profile. They were able to do something with Git and GitHub. So after that point, I thought, okay, so maybe let's do something in this area also, right?
Okay.
So maybe after the college, my college finished, I joined coding blogs because I knew about Pratik Bhaiya, right? I knew about him. I've taken machine learning course from him as well, right? Although I have studied from a lot of resources, I have taken a lot of courses, different courses for machine learning, but one course, machine learning master course from Pratik Bhaiya, that was like very informative. So I thought, okay, let's get connected with Pratik Bhaiya, and so he guided me. He asked me if I can be the TA for his batch, and after that I got enrolled, or I got on board as a instructor for machine learning role.
Yeah. Okay. So this is your whole planning. You just went inside these all teaching stuff and all. So like how you were managing this, because you were also like going through your college life as well. So how you were managing both this stuff? So what was your schedule at that time?
So this one fun fact. My college is around 35 kilometers far from my place. So I used to go very early to my college, and like once college get over around 4 or 5, and it takes around 2 hours to come back. So like most of the times I have prepared, or I have written code in metros or bus as well, right? By commute. So it was like pretty difficult at that time because around 3 and 4 hours goes into traveling. But I somehow I had a fixed schedule that generally I could not study at that time in the morning. But after coming from the college, or even if we get some free time in college, we used to study. We had very small group, like 3-member group, and we used to study whenever we have some maybe like 1 hour or 2 hour free time. Similarly, like I was not very social at in college time, and I didn't participate in like culture fest or some events or some maybe different type of programs, right? But like the whole motive of those college years was to get skill, right? In mostly like the whole focus was to be a good programmer, and I think that's why I have invested those years into in myself, learning coding and writing a lot of code, learning different languages, or maybe Python or machine learning, all these concepts. And that's why I would say that I am able to understand these concepts, and I'm able to create these projects and I'm able to get that instructor role at Coding Blogger.
Yeah, and that due to those qualities only people are getting influenced by you, and they're just getting interest with your courses even, and they're just loving you. Lots of isn't from my batch, my junior batch, they're like fascinated about your ML courses and Pratik Vyaya courses as well. And right recently you just came up with your Git courses, Git and GitHub course, so that
Right,
was
right.
like outstanding, that was performing outstanding, I'll say. So, like, I'll just go with a question now. Ki, why you haven't choose the placement, or you haven't thought of this placement stuff, because you just came into the teaching part, and I don't know about your future plans, but yeah, like why you haven't thought of placement?
So I thought of placement like when I was in first or second year, and I thought that okay, we'll go into some good companies. But later on, when I got to know about Pratik Bhaiya, right? He was also teaching, and when I started teaching very informally, not as a profession or not as a not in an institute. When I started teaching to my friends, so I started devoting a lot of time. So while teaching them, I could also clear my doubts. So I could also gain a lot of knowledge. So
Sure.
that's why I think that okay, so this is the kind of work that I want to do, because I don't know about the industry work right now, that how much we will be able to learn while doing the code while doing the programming over there. But while teaching someone, you have to be very confident that you know this topic, and that's why you're teaching someone, right? So if you do not know, if you're not very confident about any topic, you cannot teach that topic. So while teaching someone, you can also you obviously you have to learn that topic in very good detail or depth. And that's why I thought that okay, if I have to teach something to maybe students or to someone, I have to learn that topic first. And learning is the constant process that I was following since my school time. So every day I used to learn something. Even I learned something today as well, right? So
So,
like that's why I think that learning curve in the education field is so exponential, and I could learn so many new things even after joining coding blocks or coding nuts, starting coding nuts. I am learning new things. We are trying to plan to create new courses, and for that obviously we need to learn, right? So yeah, I mean for this purpose I choose this field.
if I'll say in a single sentence, then you just made your hobby as your profession. This is what I can say. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
right, right.
yeah. So I just want just exaggerate one more question from this all conversation. That is there any plan in the future that you just want to go for a big company or something like that? You're thinking for that, like Pratik Vyad did, or so maybe you are also having some plans like that.
So I mean, there are some plans to join some companies because I want to know. I also want to know about the industrial side of the machine learning. So,
Sure.
particularly, I am fascinated about machine learning, right? That's why I want to know what is going on with the industry. Let's say, take any company, right? And that company is creating a product. So, how they are creating product from beginning till end, right? From scratch till the end, end-to-end product that we say. So if I join a company because I want to work with that product, something like that, right? Teaching will always remain constant. So teaching as a passion will always be there. But I will join a company because I want to learn that how do we actually take a product from something like scratch, a basic product, to the deployment and to creating a product out of it, right? So how these big companies actually using machine learning at their very core, or how these companies are using machine learning in their products. So that I really want to understand. Even I have a lot of friends who are working as a data scientist or machine learning, and I got to know I got to know about different products that or different type of work that they do in companies. So just I mean this is also beneficial even if I go for any company or startup, even a startup as well, right? That actually uses machine learning or data science to create new projects or start a new projects or products. So that I can say that okay, I'll go over that, go for maybe like for few years, less than few, I would say like 4 or 5 years, that would be fine. And after that again coming back to the teaching part, and so will not leave that teaching in between. still will get some time to teach, like to create courses, to take some live sessions, and so on and so forth. So that would be the idea. Even if I join any company, just to learn like how these things actually works over there, and then take knowledge from there and teach again to students.
Okay. Means the teacher is going to always be there. Means the Mohit Bhaiya, the teacher is always be there, and the other stuff is also going to be done parallelly. That's what we can do.
Correct.
So, okay, now I just want to go with, one I can say the downfall question. How you just, managed your failures? Because in our life, failure is, a very important component, and that is just giving us some lessons as well. So, what was your motive at the time when you face any failure or any downfall in your life?
So this happens a lot of times. So you strive to get something, right? Or maybe strive to learn something, strive to write code, or strive to achieve any goal, right? And you fail. A lot of times this happens. So how I keep myself motivated as one is I read a lot of books, right? I see that how people, like, not only just the success of other people's, but how when other people failed during the journey, how these different people actually come back, right? Or how they do their comeback, or so basically learning from the experiences of others. So this is what I would say, right? So because we cannot make all the mistakes in our life, so maybe those, like different people, those who have made their mistakes and then learn from those mistakes, we are also learning from those mistakes. So learning from the experiences of other, reading stories, or reading different biographies, if you we can call that, right? And even friends, some friends actually helps when you feel a little bit of demotivated, right? You can call them up, you can ask for some guidance, some seniors are there, right? So I think so community actually helps you a lot.
Okay. Yeah, surrounding matters, if I'll say. So
Yes.
I'll just ask one question that is going to be, that is the main question of this full podcast, I'll say. Like lots of your juniors, strengths and all, like going through the placement drive and just preparing themselves for placements and all. So what's your suggestion? Like how they have to prepare for that? Which platform they have to choose? How they have to go with the competitive coding, DSA and all this stuff. So how they just have to make the path so they can just achieve everything properly? Because, what they're doing, they're just striving for the knowledge, but they're just like following lots of platform, like going for the competitive coding through 2 to 3 platforms. For DSA also, they are doing the same. So what's your, exaggerated answer for that? And so they can just do good in their, what I can say, process.
Okay. So if you talk about the placement process, right? We know that companies actually ask DSA. A lot of companies ask DSA, so we cannot obviously skip them, right? Skip the DSA part. So if you want to improve on DSA, I would say some people say that just do 400 500 type 400 500 question and that would be sufficient. But even if you are not able to do 400 question, what is more important than doing question is you struggle with the question. I say that there's one person who has done 500 DSA question, but still not able to clear coding rounds, or not able to do questions, or not able to clear the interviews. Why? Because that person mugged up all the questions. He has just learned that, okay, this type of question will use this pattern or this type of answer. Rather than, so you're not improving on the problem solving skill, right? So given any problem, how would you approach the solution? So DSA is one way of improving on problem solving. So if we have DSA today, right, we have to do DSA. Maybe 5 years later, 5 year next down the line, you don't have to write DSA code, right? You don't have to do searching or sorting, right? There would be some different problem, which would be maybe a business problem, and you have to solve a business problem.
Sure.
A question on lead code or hacker rank or code courses. So struggle with that problem. So if you're not struggling, it means in the first go, if you're just directly looking at the solution, it means that you're not learning. You're not improving on your problem solving skills. You can look at the solution, that's fine. and later on, okay, you have just mugged up, you have just learned that solution, okay, but you have not improved on the problem solving skill. So how do we actually solve a problem from, let's say, a brute force approach to a little bit of optimization, then optimized solution, right? So struggle with that question, and choose one platform, right? Don't go from here to there, right? If some people are using CodeChef, some people are using GFG, some people are using Lead Code, right? Just stick to one platform. That would be sufficient, right? Even if you pick Lead Code, let's say, right? Lead Code has all the sufficient questions to crack any interview process, right? Similarly, if you are writing code or if you are solving questions from GFG, that would be sufficient. And do like around 10 to 15 type of question for each pattern, for example, binary search or arrays or string, right? And struggle with the problem, right? If you look at the problem, if you read the problem statement and you think that, okay, I don't know this problem and let's directly jump to the solution, that would not improve your problem solving skill, right? Even in future, if this type of question comes, you will still not be able to solve,
Sure.
because you have not improved on the problem solving. So think around, maybe if you start thinking for the solution, okay, for first time, second time, third time, 10 time, you don't get the solution, but for the 11th problem, next problem, right, after doing 100 problems, you will be able to think in the direction like how to approach this type of question. So I think struggling with problems with obviously that would be important, because if you do not have problems, then it would be difficult to improve your life, or like it's a general term, not just with the problem solving skills or in the computer programming, right? So problems are what makes us strong.
Okay. So means we can just summarize it like we should be clear with our concepts first before applying the concept to the questions, isn't it?
Obviously, because if you do not know the binary search concept, then how would you apply to binary search to any problem? So
Yeah.
concept is the fundamental. So I'm assuming that concept, you have to clear a concept and then you have to go for the problem solving, right?
Sure.
So obviously that would be the part. For example, if you do not know dynamic programming, then there is no way you can improve a recursion type of problem or backtracking type of problem, right?
Sure.
So you have to learn the concept fundamental first and then go for the problem solving.
So there is one more question, Bhaiya. Like lots of students, what they're doing, they're not at all interested in the coding stuff, but still they're just trying. They're just trying to get inside any software company and all. So there can be two cases. Like they can just shift towards sales as well as consulting and stuff, or like they just switch to some other, what I can say, some other field. But they are still, striving for that software engineer or something like that. So what's your views? Like, what's your idea about that? Like, what they have to do, especially?
Okay, so one thing is there are a lot of people, those who are into the software world or into this BTech or computer programming, because this is increasing with like exponential curve, or there's a lot of growth in IT, right, or programming. So because there are a lot of companies who pay very high, they have very high paying jobs, right? This is one reason. There are some people who are very passionate. So if you are not very passionate about programming, then it would be very difficult to survive, because competition is increasing day by day.
Sure.
Right. So if you have a passion for programming, then this is for you. Okay. But if you do not have a passion, try program. I'm not saying that completely skip it or jump to maybe sales and marketing or business development. Try the programming stuff, right? Because programming actually helps you to improve the problem solving, because the whole idea of programming, writing code, is to improve your lives, right? Improve your problem solving skills. So programming will not help you in writing code or in company, but also in the real life. Okay, so try with the programming, maybe give some time. So somewhere around like if you are in first year, second year, give 1 year, 6 months, right? Try to solve questions. If you're not very much into DSA or computer programming, maybe try to create a web application, mobile application. Try to see what technology is there, right? So see, like basically spend 6 months to 8 months just to figure out if you are passionate, if you will increase passion for programming in next 5 years. Let's say you get into a company and you're not passionate about programming, you do not get any interest, then that 10 hours or 12 hours of your when you are writing code in a company, that will feel very burden. So eventually after 2 years, 3 years, you will feel that this is not what I want to do. and I want to do maybe some other work, maybe like, let's say, photography or analytics part, right? There are some students who go for data analytics rather than going for software development, because they do not like a lot of writing a lot of code or programs, but still they are into the IT sector because they are doing the data analysis. So I mean, there are other things like you can write SQL queries, right? You can be involved in databases or cybersecurity or different things with the same in the IT sector only. So if you are not very much into the software development, then that's totally fine. This is not the need that all the student will go into the software development. But again, try to figure out if you can increase that passion in next 6 months, 8 months, 1 year, 2 year, right? If you think that okay, you will increase the passion, then definitely go for it. Still, if you are not very comfortable right now, but in the next 6 months or 10 months or 1 year, 2 years, you will get comfortable with programming and you will be able to do good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, last but not least, where like, what's your mantra for success, and what you want to, just tell to all the students, whoever is going to watch this video, and all the, juniors. Most of them are your juniors only. So, what do you want to say them? Like, how they just have to approach towards their IT field and towards their academics and towards their life.
Okay, so one rule that I'm following these days, obviously there's everyone has their different rules, and I would not say that if someone says that focus is the most important or dedication or something like that is more important, that's correct. But what I'm following these days is I have written a sticky note on my desktop on my screen, and it says that 6 months consistency can take you 5 years ahead in your life. So basically consistency is the most important that I'm thinking right now. So for example, I just give you one example. If you are learning data structure algorithms, I know that data structure algorithms can be done in 2 to 3 months, right? You can be you can know all the data structure algorithms very well, pretty well. So I'm saying that do data structure algorithms DSA for next 6 months consistently, right? Every day solve at least one or two problem. But consistency is very important. If you do consistency for next 6 months, it will take you ahead of a lot of students, those who are actually doing it irregular. For example, if I know machine learning, right, there's another person who does not know machine learning at all. If that person starts from today and learn consistently for next 6 months, 10 months, that person, and I do not learn, I'm not learning, let's say I'm not learning, or I'm learning, let's say in sometime in one day in 20 days, or maybe once in a month, like very irregular. The other one will go very far from me, right? That person will be very ahead of me in this skills of machine learning. So consistency, this I think that very important, even not just in the programming field, but whatever skills you are learning. If you are starting something, complete it, right? Complete the whole journey. Don't just break this flow in between. So I would say that consistency is the important.
So this is not at all any question, but I just want to ask about the coding minutes. What was the concept behind coding minutes, and what do you want to deliver to whole the nation from this coding minutes platform?
Okay, so coding minutes is a new initiative. So Pratik Bhaiya took, and so along with me, we both thought that let's create something that is affordable, pocket-friendly courses, and it is mostly for the student community. So you have seen that in the pandemic, it was very difficult. A lot of students, even like most of the most of the middle class families affected as a financial, right? It had an impact. It had an impact because of the COVID. So they were like, a lot of students were not able to pay the tuition fees as well, like in the college fees, right? And after paying college fees, maybe then you have to take other coachings as well. So that was very difficult for the students. Even we got a lot of emails that we need courses, or we are not able to pay the fees, and sort of these things, right? And that's when we thought to start something like coding minutes. right? And the goal is to provide the pocket-friendly, affordable courses. So why we have chosen this Udemy platform, because it gives the lifetime access, right, to any course. So if you want to refer to this course maybe after 2 years, or maybe after your during your placements, or after your placements also, right, you want to learn something new, so you can refer to those courses. Again, doubt section is there, right? You can ask doubt from TAs. Again, projects are there. Then assessment, for assessment we have the coding questions, we have the quizzes. So that was the whole idea, because already there are a lot of courses, but trying to give a course within like 500, 400, 350 rupees, 360 rupees. So that was the idea, so that student can afford these courses as well.
So it was a nice talking to you, where the session was great. I think the parents and the most probably those your students, as well as the guy who are just inspired by you, both people, Pratik Bhaiya as well as you. So they're just going to love it, and I hope the codingness is going to touch a good success and good heights in future as well. So it was nice talking with you, and thank you so much for taking out the time and coming to us. Thank you so much, Bhaiya.
Likewise, thank you.